'cause we got so much history. Here with you is where I'm meant to be. Even after all the pain, I do it all again. 'Cause we got so much history. We got so much history. Wrapped up in these memories.
Yo, what's up, people? Welcome back to another stream with DJ SINCLAIRO. Today is the Game Week 9 review of Premier League. We're going to talk about the North London derby, the Manchester derby. I've got two guests waiting for me. I did plan to have more. I just want to give a few notices. Obviously, with YouTube, this main account now is for lives only. I'm thinking about making a shorts channel, and if I get one more subscriber on my second channel, I will be making a video on there. I also uploaded a Mixcloud mix as well. I'm back on there, and I'm back active on Instagram as well. But as this is the link to join, by the way. We've only got 3 guests at the moment. We can have up to 6. And big up Joel, he might be joining soon, and Hanno as well. So let me introduce the guest first. So first, he knows what colour North London is. He also knows Phil Foden's called Ben Foden. I'm sure. All the way from India. He's an Arsenal fan. It's Manny. Big up, Manny.
That Ben Foden thing was utterly ridiculous because, look, I mean, that was a brain freeze of the worst possible type. I don't know why that came into my head. I remember a rugby player named Ben Cohen. And then I seriously don't know how Ben Foden came into the picture. But thankfully, one of the chat members corrected me, and I will never again make that Freudian slip. But it happens. I mean, that's the key. Sometimes when you're doing a watch-along, and if you're commentating, you have to own up to that Freudian slip and just move on forward. Pretty good, mate. Pretty good. As you can see, to honor my commitment to you, I've also got my dinner here. Once again, it's the same rice flour crepe. This time with some curried lentils and some prawns. Very delicious.
Did you cook it?
I made the crepe, but the prawns and the lentils were made earlier this afternoon. So just a case of warming them up, really.
All right, yeah. So big up Manny, and my next guest, he is the host of Arrest Talks Football. He is a United fan, which he's not going to be happy about. He's going to get slated in this stream. He's got a stream in half an hour, so he might be hopping off. He might come back, and we've got Hanno hopefully joining as well. It is Arrest. How you doing, Arrest?
Yes, people. Obviously, it's great to be back. Fortunately, my club lost.
We'll get onto that, but
Arsenal won. But yeah, man, Conte in the mud.
Yeah, Chelsea in the mud, Liverpool in the mud.
Listen, I'm honest. I have got a lot of stuff to say about Ten Hag in the players, so it's great to be back. It's great to be back.
But no, let's talk about this first. Obviously, the first game was the North London derby. Arsenal beat Tottenham 3-1. Manny, I'll start with you because the rest turned his camera off. Obviously, I saw a few streams you're on, and you said you missed the first half. But what are your thoughts on this game? Obviously, North London's read as well. Obviously, good win. We're top of the league as well. What are your thoughts on the game?
Let me start by speaking about Tottenham. You know, I think it's fair to say that after this game, they've got a lot of serious work to do if they have any ideas or pretensions of being top 4 challengers, never mind title challengers. All the attacking talent, their midfield talent at their disposal, and this was the best they could do. Now, to be fair, they did lose Dejan Kulusevski to an injury. I think it was a thigh muscle injury, which is rather serious. You know, that's a sort of intrinsic injury which needs to be dealt with very carefully. So that meant that they had to play Emerson Royale as a wing back and Christian Romero as the right centre back. But you know, we completely, even with at least with Perisic and Højbjerg and Bentancur and their team, you know, we were expecting them to do a lot more. But typical Conte, I mean, when you have a coach who, with all that attacking talent, simply sets up to defend a lot more, it's as if he was tactically unaware of how Arsenal were playing this season. Because we've been pressing teams a great deal and taking a lot of the initiative. And you can only sit back and sit deep for so long before eventually, you know, the reservoir will break. And boy, when Partey scored that corker,
brilliant goal. Amazing.
It broke. And all I can say is that was a well-deserved win. I did miss the first half because I did, you know, have to have a little bit of a rest or a kip, as I said. To all the Northerners, David, Noel, Newcastle fan, you'll understand what I mean. And so I guess that wasn't really too much of a bad thing because, of course, at the break we were 1-1. I predicted that it would be 1-1 because I predicted that, Conte would have at least tactically set his team out.
What was your thoughts on the Kane penalty, though? Would you think that was a penalty? And obviously, Ramsdale wouldn't have saved that, to be honest.
Oh, it was a penalty, no doubt about it. And it's another another mistake to add to Gabriel's catalogue of errors, if you will. Of course, if you see everything in the highlights, you'll get a lot more of a clear vision. Now, cynics will also say that we got lucky with a comedy of errors for Jesus' goal, with Lloris and Romero culpable. I actually believe that Romero was more culpable because any defender worth his salt should know the back pass rule. You cannot even consider trying to, dink the ball back to your keeper and run the risk of conceding a free kick like that. You've got to try to move it away from your goalkeeper and clear your damn lines, which he failed to do. Lloris didn't exactly cover himself with glory, but I still think he is a quality goalkeeper, still the defending world champion. It is fair to say, though, that he is getting on a bit. I believe that this World Cup will be his last for France. He might play 1 or 2 more years at club level and then, hang up his boots. But maybe it wouldn't have been a bad idea, given his injury issues, if Fraser Forster had been brought in. And this is the thing. When you have players, and this will segue into the United game later on, we'll talk about this.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next.
When you have players who have just recovered from injury, even if they might have been in the best run of form, is it really that wise to bring them back into that sort of a cauldron, a derby game? Not in my opinion. So that's pretty much the way it went. And again, Emerson Royal getting himself sent off. I mean, he was an idiot. And it should be a benefit for Tottenham, a boon for Tottenham, because that means he won't be playing. Maybe they'll put Matt Doherty in there, give the Irishman a few games. I don't know, but we'll see. So I've seen tackles like, I'm coming to that. Okay. I've seen tackles like Emerson's being only booked. But again, I think the VAR probably intervened and said, look, he had his studs up. It was a dangerous looking challenge. He had to go. So that was stupid of him, and he deserved to be sent off. And that probably made it very clear that there was only going to be one winner. Fortunately or not for Tottenham, they went to a back 4. And I would like to see this ridiculous back 3 experiment with 2 wing backs chucked in the bin. It's failed with Southgate in the Nations League. It's failing with Conte and failing with Leicester. Get rid of it. It's not worth it. And, of course, we still kept pressing, and that goal from Xhaka pretty much put the seal on it. It was just a dominant performance in that second half, and that second half really encapsulated, in my opinion, the way we played throughout the entire game. And I was happy with the 3 points. And look, the reason why I predicted a 1-1 draw was because I was expecting Tottenham to put up more of a fight. But they disappointed me a great deal. Absolutely dreadful. And they're going to have a lot of work to do. They've got to pull their socks up and really look inside themselves. Conte has to look inside himself and see whether his tactics and player selections were partly to blame or not. But, I mean, I'm happy. I'm not going to look a gift horse in its mouth. And North London, to answer your question, is the same color as your ticker and these the timer and also these titles. Red.
All right, Ares, so I'll move on to you, then I'll get my thoughts, and obviously we'll move on to the Manchester derby, because I know you've got a stream in about 15 minutes. So, yeah, as a neutral, what are your thoughts on this game? Did you watch the game?
Of course I watched it. By myself. Sat back, watched Arteta ball, and you know what? People have to start putting respect on Arsenal. Listen, when it comes to me, I've always said, I've questioned the consistency. No, I understand. I've always questioned Arsenal's consistency. Now, you can see that star football is there. The fans, you can see they're connected now. The fans, the players and the fans are both connected. Players are playing well. Special mention to Saliba. Jesus as well. Listen, Jesus, I've always said, he's been the best signing, man. The mentality that he brings to that
signing of the summer for me.
Man, it's both Jesus and Zinchenko for me. I've brought that winning mentality, in my opinion. Because when you see those two coming off, you can see both Zinchenko and Jesus telling the players, keep your heads up, keep your hands up. And I've never seen no Arsenal player ever do that. So big up to them. But yeah, Granit Xhaka, man. Granit Xhaka! Yo! What's he eating this week,
Yes.
man? What has he eaten?
He's drinking the prime, mate. He's drinking the prime.
Yeah, man, this guy, man. I've always defended Granit Xhaka. I've always said that there's a player named fair play to Xhaka, man. That party goal, yeah.
Oh
If
my
any
God,
other player did try to
amazing.
do that, it would go over the stadium. Trust me on
Yeah.
it. If any other player tried to do that, it would be going over the goal.
Yeah.
But good performance from Arsenal. Spurs, we need to question them, man.
Yeah.
The record at the Emirates, we need to question that. But however, we can't question them when it comes to their stadium against Arsenal. So I don't know. This question there needs to be asked. But so far for Arsenal, then it's looking good. But for me, as I said, I'm going to still question you guys. Consistency is key for me.
Yeah.
You guys, consistency is key. So let's see how it comes. For me, let's check the table again in December. For me,
Yeah.
I would say December for me.
Yeah, World
Exactly.
Cup. I think World Cup, see what it's like. And if we're still top of the league, people need to rethink. Obviously, Man City are catching up now and we've got a rest in game week 12. But let's just go through the comments. As I said, here's the link. Come join if you want. Hopefully it works. Joel says, yo, I'll join as soon as I'm home. Big up JPT in the chat. He says, big up everyone. Spurs look like pretenders for the big six. And big up Rotary Devils in the chat as well. He says, somebody stop Haaland. Yeah, we'll talk. Go on then. We'll talk about that next. Before I get my thoughts, obviously, an Arsenal fan. North London is red as it always is. But listen, right, it's going to be a tough fight when we go to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium because they'll be up for it. But you know, Expression's videos are so funny. Honestly, the way that after the game, before the game, how confident he was, and then his post reaction was hilarious. And if you watched AFTV,
Football.
But no, onto the game. I was obviously I did a stream with the rest after the game and I was a bit quiet, but I'll be more vocal in this one. Obviously, amazing goal from Partey. No one can say that wasn't a bad goal. I think it was Ben White the assist. Before the play, obviously Saka with a fake shot. Apparently there was 21 passes before the goal, which just shows the team. The team play, how well the team played. Honestly, great goal. I was excited then, obviously, with the penalty. I didn't see the incident until the replay. And obviously, I'm surprised there wasn't really a card as well. But Ramsdale isn't very good at saving penalties. I don't think I've ever seen him save a penalty, especially not Kane. I knew he'd score. 1-1 half-time, I was a bit worried. But 2-1, man. Jesus, a bit of a lucky goal, as you said. Romero, mistake, and Luis, mistake. But I'll take it as a goal. And we were 2-1 up, and then obviously the red card. It was a bit soft, but I think obviously Martinelli was hurt, and it was he shouldn't have done it. And obviously, I've got nothing to say about Royale. I don't rate him. I don't know why people put them in a combined 11. Ben White is definitely clear, and I know Ben White isn't the best right back, but he's played right back and he's proven people wrong. So, and honestly, I don't get why. I don't get why.
Wrong? Ollie,
he's proving like people who are saying Ben White are bad, like saying that he isn't good at right back, and he wasn't even in the England team over Maguire. Like why? And then finally, obviously the Xhaka goal that ended it for me. Honestly, he just obviously I remember him scoring in the Manchester game and he did the knee slide, and when he did the knee slide, I knew it was over. North London. I'm not going to say it anymore, but North London is red. Let me move on to the next game because Arrest, you can talk about this game for Raw, obviously. But Man City 4-0 down at halftime. The United fans were leaving. Then somehow, they scored 3 goals. But we'll talk to you first, Arrest, because I know you need to leave. Then we'll get to Man and then we'll get to me. Thoughts on the game? Obviously, bad loss for you guys. You were quite confident before the game. What are your thoughts on the game?
Fuck me, man. This performance. Listen. City for me, they're going to be unstoppable this season.
Yeah.
For me, no one's going to stop them. But that was a disgrace for the players, man. That was a disgrace to not turn up, concede 4 goals in 44 minutes in a Manchester derby, and not show no tackles, no passion, no fight, no spirit. It's a joke, man. It's a joke. Both Ten Hag and the players got it wrong. Ten Hag got the game plan wrong, got the tactics wrong. For me, our fullbacks were useless. That lot for me, I don't know what he was on, man. Because before that game, that lot was one of our most informed players out of squad, but I don't know what happened to him. Varane, where was Varane? Where was Martinez? Where was Malacia? Where was
He was
all
going to
this?
pocket Haaland, was he?
only don't need that. Where was this hype about McTominay, man? Because I've always said I'm not gonna big up the likes of McTominay and Rashford until their consistency. But you know what? I got proved right.
Orest, answer this question. Who had the worst
Well-
day, Real or Dalot? The yellow card looked like made it as very aggressive and played where he needed.
Probably that lot, to be fair, but no. Listen,
Yeah,
it was
carry
a
on.
disgrace. The players, I'm seeing reports that Ten Hag has had an emergency meeting today with the players. So I don't care what happened to that. I just want everyone, the whole culture stuff, and the whole players need to understand that they got it wrong. They need to criticize themselves. They need to look at one another, and they need to wake up to the fact that conceding 4 goals in 44 minutes is an absolute disgrace. And I've got flipping people after the game saying, "Oh, but City are unstoppable. There's no chance of United beating them." Well, going back when City going back to the Centurions when City got 100 points, did we not beat them at the Etihad? So I don't understand why people are saying, but United are not good enough to beat City. Well, we've proven that if you look at the last 10 games at the Etihad, where I think we've won 8 games and City have only beaten us twice, so we can beat them. It's just that there's excuses going on around saying, "Oh, but United, this is that." We are capable of beating City, but the thing is, I just don't. We like Rashford and McTominay. They should understand that they need to turn up because last season, do they not learn from last season under Ralph Ragnar on the Oli? Did they not learn that they need to turn up? So for me, it's just a disgrace. Like Rashford, even Bruno, man. Bruno, you should listen. You're the captain here. You should know from last season. You need to learn what happened last season. 4-1, Etihad. It was a disgrace. It was a disgrace. But now you need to learn yourself. Saying, okay, you know what, guys. Last season, City humiliated us. Now let's go with the fighting spirit and beat them. But you know what? They don't have that. They don't have that mentality anymore. And for me, I've always said Ten Hag isn't the problem. I'm not saying Ten Hag is the problem. I'm not saying
it's the team.
Yeah, I'm giving Ten Hag as much time as possible. But for me, we still have those players that are not trying hard enough, man. I'm sick to death of overhyping these players. For me, McTominay, I've made my stance clear. McTominay is not my player. Like he's not my type of player. That's why I've gave him credits where it's due, but I've not said, "Oh, okay, you know what? Now I rate McTominay." I've given his credits where it's due, but now people can understand why I don't rate McTominay. Same thing goes with Rashford. But for me, Jadon Sancho is the one that we need to talk about because honestly, he was nowhere in the game. He was nowhere to be found. He was. I would say he was one of our worst players.
You should have started Martial. That's what I think. You know, he came on and scored 2 goals.
Yeah, but the thing is, I would have started.
Wait, did Anthony start? Because Anthony
he scored.
He scored. Yeah.
Scored. So for me, Ten Hag got the. For me, I'd say Ten Hag got the lineup wrong. I would have started. I know I said Casimiro, McTominay, and Eriksen, but I would have started Fred and Casimiro and play Eriksen as number 10. But clearly, Ten Hag is based off merits, which fair play. I'm not dissing that, but Ten Hag needs to understand now it's important to play the big players now, not based on merits. Now you have to play the big players now. He has to change. For me, we've got Everton away next weekend. He needs to make changes.
You need to win that.
Throw some balls and make some bloody changes. Because honestly, I'm sick to death with keeping the same whole lineup throughout 4 games. He needs to change it, man. Ten Hag, mate, you need to look at yourself and realize you need to change it because fans, they have expressed themselves saying that he needs to change as well. So for me, I'm expecting a reaction. Will we see a reaction? I'm not sure because we could struggle against Everton away. But Ollie, you can do a solo on me because I'm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just get rid of the banner.
If I finish early, I will.
Where can we find you on YouTube and Instagram and anywhere
So you can find me, Oris Tooks Football on YouTube. I'm doing a live in literally 5 minutes with a Leicester fan.
I'm on at 9 as well.
What was that?
And what a stream at 9 o'clock as well.
Yeah.
About
Oh
that.
yeah, 9 p.m. tonight. I think Ollie, you'll be there, right? Ollie,
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Manny, will you be there?
Manny's gonna be there. Yeah. I think
Yeah, I
Yeah.
should be there. I mean, like at
9 p.m. tonight is
Mm-hmm.
about to get one of the most heated videos on my channel. So make sure you guys tune in tonight. What I'm saying is Mason versus Deji.
Oh my God.
That's all, I'm gonna leave it like that. Mason versus Deji. I'm just gonna leave it that. But Ollie, big up.
Wait, did you shout your Instagram and YouTube?
Instagram, Arsenal Football, Twitter. We will create a Twitter account. I will get in touch
TikTok.
with the hosts. What was that?
TikTok.
TikTok, Arsenal Football. Yeah, Ollie. TikTok. I'm not sure if.
And yeah, obviously, just big up Arrest. Subscribe to his YouTube channel and follow his Instagram. Yeah,
Ollie,
thanks
if
for
I do
making
finish
this.
early, I will join back if I finish.
Yeah. I'll definitely join your 9 p.m. one, but obviously if you finish that one, join back. And we're waiting for Hanno to join as well, and Joel might.
By the way, before I leave, we've got Super Mega Teta. This is for money, man. But anyways, but yeah, big up you two.
Big up.
And we'll see what happens.
All right, we'll see you. But we'll see you. Big up. So Manny, let's go on to you now with this game. I know you like to talk when you do watch alongs. Obviously, you did a watch along for this game on Hanno's channel. Amazing. First off, obviously you did the Brentford game when they were 4-0 down as well. What obviously Man City thrashing, Haaland hat-trick, Foden hat-trick. What are your thoughts on this 9-goal thriller?
It's funny. I mean, really, it just goes to show that sometimes certain tactical formations may not really work for certain teams at different times. Interestingly enough, Ollie, when you take a look at the the Brentford game, they too had a 4-2-3-1 formation, but they also got completely creamed by the 4-3-3, and it was a case of history repeating itself, with City also playing a 4-3-3. So we've been praising Erik ten Hag as an intelligent person, a sharp tactician. And so for him to get it so badly wrong twice in succession, it was just shocking, really. And this is just something that occurred to me a little bit later on, and I'm just saying it right now. Yeah. He also had a tactical failure today, not just in terms of tactics, but also the selections. And it segues as well into the idea of playing players on form. It doesn't really, sometimes when it comes to big games in the Premier League, you need to adopt a horses for courses approach. Yeah. And I was talking about this. When you have a situation where with Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho, they're coming back after injuries, to just throw them into the cauldron of a Manchester derby, I think that was an irresponsible thing to do. Because both of those players look completely off the pace. They didn't look as though, they had much to contribute. At least Rashford did try in many ways, but Sancho looked completely out of it. And when they were subbed off, I told myself it had to happen. And Varane also didn't really cover himself with glory for quite a few of the goals. And that ankle injury he sustained, obviously, prior to, I think it was Haaland's first goal in that half, that didn't help. No. So it was also shocking, Ollie, to see how much freedom City were given to run at United. It's as if the defenders were just dropping off. Yeah, they were just dropping off, saying, hit us with your best shot, fire away. And they fired away. And you might as well have heard that song playing around the Etihad. I'm sure you'll know who sang that. Was it Blondie who sang that? No, it was someone else.
Sure.
I think.
Yeah, it might be someone. I don't know who sang it, but
it was someone else. But anyway, that was a performance where they just didn't seem willing to try and attack City in many ways. City either had the freedom to, come to press United right away, or sit back and allow United to attack, knowing that they were effectively toothless with Sancho and Rashford up front, and then hit them on the counter. It was as if there was no game plan, no ideology. Now, at least in the second half, we saw some changes. I think one of those changes actually was an enforced change in the first half with 5 minutes to go, when Varane simply couldn't continue with his ankle injury. I think Lindelof came on, and he didn't really distinguish himself, but he probably wasn't United's worst player on that pitch. But afterwards, of course, in the second half, he took off Malacia, brought on Luke Shaw, and then obviously Marshall and Fred came on, and the attack and midfield looked a bit different. Casimiro as well. So with that, they used all their 5 subs effectively. And this is now where sometimes you've got to, a smart coach would realize that when you have world-class players who can influence the game, who do look good, who should deserve minutes, who've been in these similar situations many times before, to not play them is the equivalent of going to the OK Corral with a water pistol. It's stupid. Why would you not pick Cristiano Ronaldo, who at least had some game time over the last week for Portugal? Yes, he had a bit of a bash to his head and had an injury, but he was still active. He was still contributing to the play, and you know that he lives for games like this. To drop him and not even give him a run out, it was sacrilegious. Casimiro plays for the Brazilian national team. Multiple Champions League winner with Real Madrid, and didn't start. Instead, he kept faith with the blue-eyed Scot McTominay. Again, you've got to take a look at your squad and make sure that you have a horses for courses approach to things, and that's why it helps. In fact, with an Arsenal connection, if you recall, the 2017 FA Cup, which was our last FA Cup win before
was it Aston
came into
Villa?
the picture. I think it was. I can't be sure.
I remember watching that in Turkey. I think we won, didn't we?
Yeah,
it must have been
actually,
Aston Villa or...
Yeah, that was the Mertesacker final, because Per actually had been struggling with injuries earlier on that season and wasn't really available to play for many of the games, and everyone believed that bringing him in and having him captain the side that day would have been a bit of a risk. But he came in, he saw, and he conquered. And that just goes to show that it's a case of cometh the hour, cometh the man. You got a Manchester derby at the Etihad. You don't leave Cristiano Ronaldo and Casemiro on the bench. I take people's point when they say that, Casemiro had only been getting a few sub appearances and not been really given that much time. But when you have a situation where, you've got those that all conquering team, you've got to adopt that horses for courses approach. Scott McTominay may be an international for Scotland, and he was also a part of the Scotland team that has won their Nations League group, but also missed out on the World Cup at the expense of Ukraine, which were also beaten by Wales, of course. But that doesn't compare to nearly 200 internationals for Cristiano Ronaldo and Casemiro's CV. So, and this 4-2-3-1 approach, he played that against Brentford and saw his team get taken apart. So why would he do that again when City were making that same formation? It's as if now they're going to, a lot more teams are going to do that. Granted, they were able to succeed against Liverpool, but Liverpool actually flattered to deceive that game. And so their attack looked so much more potent. Their midfield was so much more explosive. So to play that 4-2-3-1 formation was just naive. He should have adopted, in my opinion, a 4-3-3 formation. Casemiro, Eriksen, and McTominay if you wanted. And see where that would have gone. At least that extra strength in midfield would have been enough to try to counter that 3-man midfield. And then, it could have worked that way. You could have had maybe Rashford in the center, Anthony on the right, or maybe Sancho in the center and Rashford on the left, maybe. But I would prefer that Ronaldo now plays as part of a 4-3-3, because that is really the only way going forward that you are able to, move on from that. It angers me a great deal, Ollie, because managers will take a look and see that they've gone wrong and change their tactics. The biggest criticism of Arsene Wenger before he left was that he wasn't willing to evolve his approach, seeing how many times Arsenal got beaten trying to play the silky, seductive football that we knew and loved, and seeing it get blunted by the Stokes and the Wigans of the Premier League. And we ended up not being able to win anything. And that's another reason why, despite this good start, memories of seasons gone by will make us realize that, there's always going to be many a slip between the cup and the lip. We cannot get too far ahead of ourselves. And for all the talk about how this time it's different, this time we'll surely get it right, as Kevin Keegan and Chris Waddle would say, we still can't get too far ahead of ourselves. But Ten Hag has some serious problems. He has some serious questions to answer.
Yeah.
And if going forward he is able to change his tactics, change his approach, and make sure that he recognizes which players will add more to the team, everything should be a little bit better. And maybe when he comes up against Chelsea, things will be a little bit better. He also has to play Tottenham as well. And don't forget that Tottenham will also be hurting from their derby defeat. So they're going to have some sort of a reshuffling of their pack too.
Yeah. Okay. We'll move on. I'll just talk about the game and then we'll move on because we've got a few other games. And I know Manny's got to stream at 6:30, so we'll definitely end before then. And there's just Arrest has started his stream, but he might come on when he's done with that one. And Hannah's got a stream as well, but we'll continue. I'll just talk about the game. Obviously, the first half was amazing. I wasn't expecting City to be that good. Obviously, Foden with a goal, Haaland getting 2 goals, and regretting not putting my captain in fantasy. But oh well, I mean, and then both Foden, breaking records. The youngest City player to get 50 goals. Haaland breaking records, the first player to score hat-trick in the first 3 home games. They broke records and they scored 6 goals, and then obviously moving on to United, rubbish first half. Even some of the fans left and I'm not surprised they left. They didn't win the game anyway, and they obviously second half Martial came on, he scored the penalty and the goal. Great goal from Anthony, but they were consolation goals at the end of the day. They weren't going to win this game. Obviously, some United fans back in their team, they thought they'd win. Yeah, it wasn't their day today. That day, and it was a Man City masterclass. And Man City is definitely the unstoppable team. They're one of the only unbeaten teams left. I think Arsenal obviously unbeaten. Tottenham are unbeaten. Tottenham have lost the game. Arsenal lost the game. And I think Man City are the only team in the league left to not lose a game. So when we play them, it's going to be tough. But United fans in the mud, I guess. But no, we'll move on now.
If I can just say one thing, the fact that United were able to score those 3 goals is proof that City can be beaten. They can concede goals. It's a question of making sure your tactics and your approach are spot on from the first minute to the very end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's move on to so this was a 3 o'clock kickoff, 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. A bit of a boring game. Manny, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch that game either. I don't think it was televised.
No, it wasn't televised.
Where I am. But look, Bournemouth are continuing their recovery. I had them losing 2-1, but they've been absolutely magnificent. And I think they've made an improved defense their priority in terms of being able to stay up. I mean, goals may win games, but clean sheets will win titles. In this case, clean sheets will earn you points, but goals also will help you stay up because goal difference comes into play. For now, though, I mean, they are currently... I mean, they're 13th in the league right now. They still have a goal difference of -13, but that really was only caused by that horrific result at Anfield. And since then, just take a look at how they've done. You can take a look and see some of their earlier results. They've been terrific, and certainly with another clean sheet for Neto, the decision to not only buy him and now put him in goal after that horror show at Anfield, it's proven to be a masterstroke. And Neto has proven himself to be an important buy. His experience as an asset. The defense looks a lot more solid, and of course there weren't too many chances between both sides. But again, it's just a question of Bournemouth doing enough to stay strong and stay sharp and just avoid making mistakes. And here as well, they went for a 4-4-2. I think a 4-4-2 might possibly be the way to go for a lot of these mid-table teams, because sometimes you might need to consider packing your midfield, and at least with 2 strikers up front, that the workload can be shared. You don't want to start off with a formation and hope that everything gets fluid later on. No, it doesn't work that way. So even here as well, Brentford had their 4-3-3. They stick with their 4-3-3. Tony and Mbuemo, Damsgaard also got into the game. And I would have expected a few more goals, and they certainly have the ability to turn on the attacking style, but they also know how to graft. And this team, Brentford, is also a team that looks set to stay in the Premiership for a good few years if they can hold on to several of their players. But Bournemouth are continuing their recovery, and if they can possibly, get a striker who will be guaranteed to score them some goals, then, they could end up finishing comfortably mid-table and avoiding relegation. And the memories of that reverse at Anfield will be a different story. So, yeah, good on them. Well done to the Cherries. And they were able to avoid getting stung by the bees.
Yeah. Joel, hello. You all right?
Yo, you right, guys?
Yeah. So you weren't here when we talked about the Arsenal game. Obviously, 3-1. North London is red. Do you want to talk about the game?
Yeah. I mean, North London's red. Obviously, it always will be.
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham, they're always Tottenham. There's always seasons where they go into the season, people thinking they can win the league this season. Obviously, the season's early on, but they're not going to win the league anytime soon. Neither will we. But I think normally we beat them at the Emirates and they beat us at Tottenham. That's what normally. I'm not going to get too overhyped in terms of like. I know that they'll get it back because they beat us at their ground, but it's obviously a good win. Who was it? Saliba. Saliba or Partey was my man of the match. Or Xhaka.
Yeah, what a goal from Partey. Amazing goal.
Partey and Xhaka both scored, didn't they?
Yeah. And Jesus scored as well.
Yeah.
Great.
Saliba just brilliant as well. So, yeah, it was a good. Obviously, at school today, I have quite a lot of Tottenham friends. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite funny. But yeah, obviously top of the league still. But looking at how City are, I doubt we'll stay there for very long. It's good to be top of the league.
Yeah, we'll move on to that as well. Arrest talked about it. He was on here, and Manny and me talked about it. Obviously, I can't believe Man United things thought they win this game, and you predicted 4-1, didn't you? Do you want to talk about the game?
I mean, yeah, I predicted Haaland would score a hat trick, and Arrest laughed. I said I wrote it down, and I also said it to him. I said Haaland will score a hat trick, and he just laughed. Laughed. I said, don't laugh, and then he scored a hat trick. So, it's just unreal. Obviously, when it was 6-1 at one point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't believe.
Just an amazing team. They're like us, Arsenal, but the same sort of process, but they're millions and stuff.
And also the fact that Haaland's not going to be in the World Cup as well just proves that he's going to have a rest and score more goals. But as Arsenal fans, do you think we should be worried of Man City? They could overtake us at any point.
I'm not really worried about them because I'm expecting them to top.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. I'm sort of expecting it. If we won the league, it would be a miracle. We'd have to have a miracle.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Haaland, very bad Haaland injury. That's the only way. But then again, it's still probably win the league with Haaland out. So that's all I can see is Haaland. All I can see is City winning the league. On that level.
But do you think Arsenal get top 4 this season? Obviously, we're top of the league, but I've said we don't want to get too complacent. We'll probably get top 4 if we keep our form. We've got Liverpool next as well. But are you confident for top 4? Obviously, not the league yet, but
yeah, no, I predicted 4th before the season. I had a feeling. I do still think we'll get 4th. I don't think we'll get 3rd. I know a lot of my fans get 3rd, 2nd. I do think we'll get 4th. So, which I'd be happy with, but I'm not going to get carried away. But yeah, I'm staying with the same prediction. I'm still going to predict Tottenham 3rd, Arsenal 4th. But yeah,
who do you think will finish 2nd then?
I still think it probably will be Liverpool. But Man United.
City.
I don't know. It's hard to think.
I think United will probably finish 5th this season. I mean, they're not doing well.
I think they'll finish. Anything can happen. They can have a great season. It's hard to predict.
Okay, we'll go back to you, Manny. Another shocking game, obviously, Palace I think they were 1-0 up, and then Chelsea came back, Aubameyang scoring a goal as well. What were your thoughts on this game? Obviously, I think you can watch the game as well.
No, I did actually see quite a
Oh,
bit of it. I think that was
oh, did
screened,
you? Oh,
but I also was actually doing quite a bit of other work. In fact,
right.
immediately after that Derby game, I hopped on a stream with my good friend Derek Healy, better known as Del Boy Gunner.
Oh,
Much
yeah.
love to you. And so it was difficult to sort of, pay attention on that stream and then watch that game as well. But I did catch a few highlights, and I only have one thing to say. Obama who? Obama what? Obama blood clot Yang. Premier League debut, scores a goal. And that just goes to show that form and other issues may be temporary, but class is permanent. He will certainly be prove to be a good signing for Chelsea. I just hope he's managed well, played in his best position, given adequate rest whenever needed, and he'll do fine. He's now in the Champions League with Chelsea. Good luck to him. But of course, we're going to talk about that Thiago Silva handball. When I see it again and again and again, you could see the wrist movement of Silva. I'm sorry, but that deserved a sending off. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And that was one of the issues where VAR got it horribly wrong. And I mean, it's not the technology that's to blame; it's the people using that which is to blame. So let's not demand the VAR, be scrapped completely, because that has helped, decide fairly a lot of decisions. There have been some decisions which have completely been, been dreadful, but blame the people who are using it. If no matter how good a technology you may have, if you don't know how to use it, then it's worthless. It's as simple as that. And I think from the inference I got, I actually predicted that Chelsea would win, and I predicted the 2-1 scoreline. So
Same.
I'm really
I think I did as well.
Yes, I'm really grateful to both Aubameyang and the ex-Palace loanee Conor Gallagher for doing that.
Oh.
Big up to him as well for refusing to celebrate after scoring that absolute corker.
Because he used to play for Crystal Palace.
Yeah, he was on loan at Crystal Palace from Chelsea, so obviously there was no way that he could have celebrated in that way. But I mean, good on him. It's fair to say that on the balance of play, Chelsea probably deserved their win. I think I don't think chances were that many for Palace. And the thing about Palace is that they've now become very hit and miss. At the end of this week's fixtures, they're now, of course, Forest and Leicester have to play. And if Forest beat Leicester, then Palace will be in the relegation zone, which is a bit of a tragedy. Of course, they have a game in hand, so they shouldn't even really worry. But, it's just sad in many ways how they've fallen a bit. And I think they're starting to get found out in many ways. It's as if you just have to, withstand their blunting pressure and then hit them when they're at their weakest. So, yeah, that's sort of the way it's working for them. And hopefully Patrick Vieira can help them recover. But Chelsea now, especially with Graham Potter at the in charge, I think he has some sort of a blueprint to be able to not only get some results against some of the bigger teams, but also against these smaller teams as well, which could potentially be in the past be banana skins for Chelsea. Not anymore. I mean, I can't say not anymore, but it looks to be a decent fit. But I'm not going to say that it was necessarily the right decision, because it still remains to be seen how he can handle the pressure of big games. I believe he drew his first Champions League game against Salzburg, and they should be playing in the Champions League tomorrow. So that is something to look forward to. And it will be interesting to see how he can also handle the egos. He does seem to have Aubameyang firmly on his side, and Aubameyang's responding well. And a few of the star players now seem to be pulling their weight a bit. I hope that they won't, suffer a really big reverse like they did at Leeds United and at Southampton. But, Potter's trying to build. I still don't believe that he was the right man for the job, but we're going to see how far Bowley sticks to his word by saying that he's buying Potter for the long haul and wants to see a team being developed. And certainly, if we are to go to Brighton's game, it's fair to say that Potter has left a system behind which is doing well, and under the new manager still continuing. We'll be coming to that. But Potter's legacy at Brighton has been, secured in a way for now, at least. And maybe he'll build something at Chelsea. Who knows?
Yeah, Joel, obviously Aubameyang scoring. You weren't really happy about his decision, but are you happy for him to score, or are you a bit annoyed? Obviously, Chelsea winning 2-1. What's your thoughts on the game?
I'm happy for him because obviously he deserves it now. But
Big up, Hannah.
Yeah.
He didn't. It was.
I was just saying, the Chelsea fans in the building, you're very happy.
Oh.
Hannah.
We'll go on to you, Hannah. We'll talk to you about the game. We're just talking about Joel. But big up, Hannah.
Yeah, big up, Hannah. Yeah, no, I mean, he was one of the big fans out. So he had every right to win Chelsea.
Give me a minute.
But, yeah, I'm happy for him and scored. And obviously, I think he'll be good. I think he'll be quite good at Chelsea. Like, I hope not he can find. I had a very disappointed. I scored some goals. Gallagher. He just won't look to celebrate because if I scored that, then I hit it, now it's gone pretty. If I scored that against Arsenal, I would have gone pretty. But that goal, unbelievable. But, yeah, I predicted 2-1 Chelsea.
Yeah, same.
It wasn't on TV. I couldn't watch it.
Yeah, Hannah, welcome. I'm obviously Chelsea beating Crystal Palace. Aubameyang getting a goal. I think you predicted a loss or a draw or something. But
Yeah,
what are your
I
thoughts
see.
on this as a Chelsea game? Chelsea fan.
So I haven't watched the highlights. Everything. I asked a few Chelsea fans what was the game about because I couldn't watch it. We were away this weekend. I said 1-1. I was close. Gallagher, of course, scoring at late minutes winner. Great goal from Gallagher.
Yeah.
But what Chelsea fans are just saying, it's just a normal Chelsea, but we got that extra goal, late goal, of course. Thiago Silva, what probably should have been sent off with how we touched the ball and stuff. But then again, Edward was on a yellow. I think he should have gotten a second yellow for that Israel on Chelsea would lead to him touching the ball. So I think both should have been sent off.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Great goal from Gallagher. I want to
What
see
was
more
the
of
Palace
that.
goal like?
So basically, it was a cross. Don't know from which player. It was a cross. Ball came straight across the box, far post. A bounce for Farner misjudged the bounce, and Edward tapped it in. That was the Palace goal. I didn't see. Yeah, okay. Aubameyang.
Did you see the Aubameyang goal?
Yeah, that was a striker's finish.
Oh, rest is back. We got.
I'm back.
Come on. When we speak about Chelsea or rest.
I swear that I just finished my stream. It was only 20 minutes. So big up everyone.
Oh yeah, you just finished. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Oh, good.
Hello, put some respect on my name. I said 2-1 Chelsea. So put some respect. Even Marnie can back me up. I said 2-1 Chelsea. I said Chelsea will win.
You said 2-1 Chelsea. We scored a late winner. That's all. It's the only reason.
What was the scoreline at the end of the day? 2-1. So I got it right. So yeah, man.
Calm down.
Wait, Ollie, can you go back to the Man United game? Because I didn't.
Oh, right. Yeah, we'll go back to that. And then Hannah, we want Hannah.
After that, yeah.
Yeah, Hannah, talk about this game.
All those United people, including Oris, United's going to win 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. Easy.
Using everyone's logic.
Listen, nobody said 4-1. I remember
Nobody said 4-1.
Nobody said 4-1. No, I didn't know what. I said 2-1. So
you said 2-1, yeah.
2-1, 3-1.
Why is it that there's a problem that United fans can't met their own team in the Manchester Derby? Why is it a problem to fans?
No, the problem is you guys are not being realistic.
United in the Manchester Derby.
If you were realistic, you would have said City to win. But you guys
are not realistic. It's a Manchester Derby form. I mean, all this form goes at the winner. That's trash talk, mate, because it doesn't. But for me, as I said, I've given the credits, but it's McTominay is shit. Rashford is shit. Bruno Fernandes, mate.
The
He's
whole
looking
team
like
is out.
Bruno
That's
Fernandes.
the whole
I mean,
team.
he's not. I'm not gonna call him shit because he was good against Arsenal, and I'd say he was good against Liverpool. But for me, Bruno Fernandes needs to start. Bruv, as I said before when I left, why did they not realize from last season, Rashford and McTominay? Do you not realize what happened last season on the Ralph Ragnick when they came to the big game like City? Like the fact is, I'm gonna repeat what I said yesterday on my channel, Match Reaction. When City fans do the Poznan, that's where it gets flipping embarrassing for United fans. When City fans do the Poznan, I mean, I don't know if Oli, Hanno, and Joe understand the Poznan, but Marnie, do you understand how embarrassing it is when City fans do the Poznan against Man United? Do you know how embarrassing that is? That tells you it. That just tells you it. But
Wait,
Yeah,
when
yeah. I mean,
City fans
look,
posing?
I found that to be.
Poznan.
I
No.
found that to be very disrespectful. I mean, I don't know what. Maybe you can enlighten me on why it's called the Poznan, but it's as if they were turning their backs on the players, being very disrespectful to them, celebrating amongst themselves, and it's a way of saying, you're not worthy of our respect. And I'd like to think, in some ways, Oris, that maybe that spurred the United players into doing something and saying, you know what, we're not going home without at least getting something from the game. Yeah. So. Just goes to show, City fans, if you try to disrespect other teams, if you try to, big yourself up, remember the tale of Icarus. You fly too close to the sun, you end up falling down and crashing back down to earth. I mean, obviously, it didn't happen in this game because by that time they were 6-1 up or something like that, or 5-1. I don't remember which.
6-1, I think.
That was disrespectful. But why is it called Poznan, by the way? Because I know Poznan is a city in Poland.
It's called Poznan because it's I think to be fair, I have no clue, but
So he's a product.
hang on. The City supporters first adopted the dance in October 2010 during a Europa League match against Lech Poznan, which they instantly won 3-1 and labeled it Poznan as a homage to which originators. So basically, they made it up because they played a team back in 2010 when they wasn't even existed back then. But yeah, but as I said, I'm starting to question.
All right, let Joel talk. Joel wants to say something to you.
Yeah, go on, Joel.
You need to apologize. I said Haaland Patrick for the game and you laughed.
Okay. Yeah, I laughed because he had no reason to say that. I laughed because he had no reason to say that.
I have to say that.
But he predicted it and he scored a hat trick and you laughed.
For me, he had no reason.
I predicted 4-1 City, Haaland Patrick. Not too far off.
You got your score prediction wrong, anyways. But as I said,
I think the back
okay. Listen, your prediction, well done, but you didn't predict United to beat you guys 3-1. So yeah, as I said, I'm questioning Ten Hag's lineup now.
Oh, copyright. Turn it off.
Who's playing North London forever? Watch it forever.
I'm sorry about that. Look, I was
someone
just checking Instagram.
Someone clip that.
I was just checking Instagram. I was just checking in. Calm down, Orest. Calm down, son.
Marnie, I know you like that song, man. Don't worry. But as I was saying,
no, I didn't like the song. It just came up. I'm sorry, I really am.
United fans need to question Ten Hag's team selection because he needs to start dropping players when they're playing shit. He came out after the game saying about how
the way that Ten Hag was shaking his head though when you were losing.
I know. But after the game, Ollie, he said he's talking about defenders playing shit. So why are you not taking them off, Eric Ten Hag? If you're out there after the match saying, "Oh, they played bad, this and that," but why are you not taking them off? That's what I don't understand. Like, okay, yeah, you don't want to bring on Ronaldo because out of respect. Listen, mate, I know you don't.
Brought off Varane and Malaysia. You can't say him.
I know Ten Hag doesn't rate Ronaldo because he's shit. Hard deep, mate. Wake up, man. Stop reposting stories saying Martial. We need to start saying Martial for the better future of our club. Listen, as I said, Ten Hag does not rate Ronaldo. It's simple as that. He does not rate Ronaldo. If he did rate Ronaldo, then he would have played those 3 teams of the big 6 that we played. So that's it. That respect thing is bullshit because Ronaldo was involved last season when we lost both 9-0 to Liverpool. He was involved on the Ralph Ragnick against City and other teams. So that's another lie from Ten Hag. But obviously he doesn't want to say about he doesn't rate Ronaldo because there will be a lot of confusion there. But I do think Ronaldo will leave in January. So I know that Ronaldo will leave in January.
Yeah.
This is not sources, by the way. It's just facts. He will leave in January because it will be a bench room and the seats will be too hot by then. So he will leave in January. So we'll see who we get. Maybe we can get Ivan Toney.
Any other thoughts in the game before
Just because you
move
got
on?
Nkunku, mate. Calm down.
Should we move on, or any other thoughts in the game?
Nah, let Hanno speak on this, man. I know
Go on, Hanno. Go on, Hanno.
I know he's got something to say.
I just want to United fans, right? I know form goes out after one, but why were you guys saying 2-1 United, 3-1 United? Why? There was no reasoning behind it.
Because Hanno is a Manchester derby, and
Nobody
usually-
was saying 3-1 United, 2-1, 2-1.
I already said
2-1.
3-1, man. I never said
Some
3-1.
people may say 3-1.
I never said 3-1. So that
Some
whoever said
United
3-1.
fans. Some
Oh,
United.
I think we know one person, but let's not.
Yeah,
call
one.
that name.
We won't. No.
But listen, as I said, I'm starting to question. I'm not saying Ten Hag out and this and that. I'm giving him as many time as possible. For me, he needs to stop starting plays based on merits. Start. You need to stop playing the big dogs like Casimiro. For me, as I said, I'll start Casimiro Fred for Everton away. I'll start Casimiro Fred. I'll drop Bruno. And I'll start Eriksen as number 10.
Why would you drop Bruno?
Because he's shit.
Okay, who's going to be captain then?
Yeah, who's going to be captain?
I'll give it to Casemiro for me.
No,
He
wait.
didn't even play.
I love him.
No,
He didn't even
no,
play.
wait.
Money is Casemiro not a
Maguire is
leader.
going to
Is
start.
Casemiro not a leader for you, Money, in general?
He came on, but he didn't.
Casimiro, this excuse about he's still not ready needs to end. I mean, like, look, he was a Champions League winner. He last season. He's seen it all before. If you value him that much, you've got to bring him in. How many Clasico matches will he have played in Spain? As a Brazilian international, he would have played in so many games against Argentina, their dreaded rivals. He has the experience. He has the know-how. You bring him in. It's horses for courses.
Exactly.
If you still want to keep... And one thing which I said to Ollie while you were gone, Norris, is that hopefully Ten Hag's experiment with the 4-2-3-1 will end. If you want to add some strength into the midfield, a 4-3-3 would be much better because he played the 4-2-3-1 against... he played the 4-2-3-1 against Brentford and got stung very badly by those bees. And now history is repeating itself with a dynamic three-man midfield in De Bruyne, Gundogan, and I don't know who else was there.
Foden.
Yeah, Foden. And then, of course, that three-man attack with Haaland and Grealish, yeah. Exactly. Grealish, I think, was exactly. So if I kept saying that if you play a 4-2-3-1 against that formation, it's like showing up at the OK Corral with a water pistol. You're not going to get anything out of it. So hopefully Ten Hag will start to change and evolve. The reason why many of us Arsenal fans were sick of Arsene Wenger is because in spite of his tactics continually failing to get results against smaller teams who would blunt our sexy, seductive, silky style of play, he was never willing to evolve and change his tactics for the better. Hopefully Ten Hag, a smart person, will see that if you cannot do the same thing again and again and expect a different result. He needs to change his tactics.
He does. He needs to. With Ajax, he played the 4-3-3 formation, so I don't know why he's playing the 4-2-3-1. But as I said again, he needs to start playing the big players now. For me, stop playing players with merits and start realizing that United bought Casemiro for 60 million. We need to start him, and he's our best midfielder with Eriksen, so we need to start Casemiro. For me, I think I'll drop Malacia for Everton. I'll drop Malacia for me, in my opinion. Let's see what's going on.
Drop Malacia.
Okay, I'll do that.
I would. even though I'm not like a massive fan of Luke Shaw, I would play Luke Shaw, but then again, but for me, Varane, I'm not happy now. I'm not happy with Varane because he's getting injured now. And honestly, like now, I think what I'm saying is that Ten Hag's gonna do a press conference on Wednesday. He's gonna say if Varane's fit for Europa League game, which hopefully he doesn't start. And even if he's fit, I don't want him to start because I don't want him to get risk being injured. So, and Maguire is also injured, so we don't have any centre backs. So for me,
Joel's gone.
yeah, he said only check. No, that's I know.
Oh, if he's gone, if he doesn't join back, follow Joel. I think he's changed his Instagram. It's Joel. Joel_DO3. He doesn't have a YouTube yet, but yeah, carry on.
What was I talking about? I forgot.
Press
Man
conference.
Press conference. Yeah, so Ten Hag's gonna say if Varane's fit. I wouldn't start Varane, but the thing is, guys, Maguire's injured, Varane's injured, Twan-Sabi's injured, Phil Jones not playing. He's not included in the Europa League list. So we're gonna have to play Lissandro Martinez and Lindelof. So there you go. Right back. For me, I don't know, man. Because Wan-Bissaka, I did not. Please, Ten Hag did not start Wan-Bissaka. So I did not want to watch Wan-Bissaka trying to cross a perfect ball in 90 minutes. Left. You most likely start Luke Shaw, but he could start Malacia. Midfield, I will change it up. Play Casimiro, Fred. And then in attack, take off Sancho, put Rashford on the left, Sancho on the right, start Eriksen as number 10, and play Martial up top. That's what I would do. You could start Ronaldo because it's the Europa League game, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's move on to the Liverpool game now because we've talked a lot about the Man United game. We go on to it, but obviously, shocking result, really. We got no Liverpool fans to smoke, though. But 2-0 down. Hannah, do you want to talk about
Trossard getting a hat trick at
no.
Liverpool.
Bring Trossard, Harry Potter, please bring Trossard to the
As I
beach.
said, I think you guys have my Snapchat, but I said on my story that United should be targeting Trossard next summer because he's a free agent next summer, guys. Think about
Is
it.
he?
Trossard is a free agent.
What is his contract run out or something?
Yeah, his contract runs out next year, so he's a free agent. So if United don't have him on the list,
No, you have loads of wingers. You have Anthony.
Yeah, you don't need him. He'll probably
Rashford.
stay.
Hang on, guys. I've got breaking news. I mean, Gonzalo Higuain has now announced his retirement from professional football by crying in his final press conference. So, I don't know if you guys are massive fans of him anyways, but
Higuain, didn't he play for Juventus?
He played for Real Madrid, Napoli, Juventus, AC Milan, Chelsea, and Inter Miami.
Wait, what team did he retire from then? Inter Miami?
Yeah. So yeah, he's crying right now. Yeah, I'm not sure if any of you guys are massive fans of him, but yeah.
No, I'm.
He was
Not
okay,
really.
I guess. Decent player. I mean, he epitomized the failings of Argentina because all of his talent, he wasn't able to take advantage of Messi's strong play. And now, of course, he was no longer involved with the Albi Celeste. I was sort of winding down his career. I knew that he was at Inter Miami, but it's surprising why he's announced his retirement. I mean, is it due to injury or what's the story?
Let me check.
He's
So
old now. What? He's like 40.
for me, he said in his final press conference, for me, it's time to say goodbye. So I think he's just. I think he doesn't want to play anymore. I think so.
Yeah, but let's get back onto the Liverpool game, though. Obviously, it's embarrassing them drawing. Trossard.
That's right. I mean, to be fair, did he even contribute for you guys in Europe? Anyway, no, let's talk about Liverpool. So, Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool. Go on.
Liverpool.
About how shit Liverpool are.
Yeah, trains. Wow, he's good at defending. Wow. Really?
Yeah,
Man, he says as well as Dalot. See.
So, for me, Liverpool, I will say again, and I said it before, they are not making top four. There you go. They are not making it. Simple as that. They're not
Someone's
making
phone's
it.
going off.
As it stands right now, I mean, it's not mine. It could be Handball's.
It's not mine.
Yeah, it's not mine. But as I
Not
said,
mine either.
Oh, I don't know whose phone, I don't know whose phone that is.
that's weird. But yeah, Liverpool not making top 4. I
No.
said it. I don't know if you guys
No way.
disagree or agree, but I don't think they are. As it stands
Yeah,
right
but
now,
Joel
Canada-
predicted them to finish second, though. I don't know what he's thinking there.
But that was beginning of the season. Like everyone predicted them to
yeah.
finish second. But now looking at them, they might.
But
They
my
might
man,
finish
what
out.
has happened to Salah? He's so bad. He got an assist. He can't score a goal.
I think it's
Bro,
because
he's looking
all the
like some
attention
hairy
is now on him.
homeless man. What the hell? He's looking
Right,
like
he's-
some.
Why did they get rid of Mane instead of him? They should have
Because
kept
only
Mane.
Mane wanted. Okay, let me get. let me
Mane-
get some point. I've had
Mane
enough.
wanted a bigger
Mane wanted to
contract.
leave. It's
Oh.
not like Liverpool wanted him gone. Mane personally
right.
came out and said that he wanted
He
to
wanted
leave
to leave.
and go
All right.
to a new career. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've got plenty of other left wingers like Jota and Diaz, so they don't really need him. But Liverpool, honestly, in the mud. I know it's later on in the season. They're currently ninth in the table, and everyone is predicting them to finish second in the league. It's just embarrassing. But Manny, do you want to talk about the Liverpool-Brighton draw?
Look, they're still really good in midfield. They're still good in attack, but I
Good
wouldn't
image-
simply put.
No. No. Stop the cat.
Who's their midfielders?
They can and look. Fabinho started, and they can still do a decent job. And I think they do deserve credit for. I mean, look, they started horribly. Let's get this clear. And clearly, it's down to their defensive woes. This continued experiment of picking Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, it needs to be revised. I mean, people are going to say he's making so many tackles and recoveries. He's proving that he's a good talent, and going forward, he's outstanding. It's just a sad and unfortunate occurrence that many of Liverpool's goals conceded at some of the worst moments have been, through him. I mean, we can't forget the Champions League final. We can't forget several other goals. And that's one of the reasons why, Southgate probably chose not to pick him as a right back and probably won't pick him as right back for his World Cup squad because, there's still a cloud hanging over him. I actually wanted him to be rested and Joe Gomez given the chance. Gomez was instead thrown to the wolves as a centre forward, and he was ripped to shreds by the Napoli attackers. And Virgil van Dijk may as well be. He reminds me so much of Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins with his rather ridiculous dancing. I mean, seriously, it's so far out of form. Iris can testify to how badly at fault Van Dijk was for at least for one or two of the goals that
I don't know what's
Liverpool
happened to him.
conceded against United.
Yeah.
And even here, in some ways, he was practically nutmegged in many ways for the third goal that went through him en route to Trossard, who was able to hook it in past Alisson's despairing dive. I think he got a fingertip to it, but couldn't push it over the bar. So it's in the defense where a lot of their problems are originating because they can still score goals, and that's not a problem. I think Liverpool's success, as much as we can talk about how the front three with Sané in there along with Salah and whoever else was there, it was really all powerful. But one would think that with Diaz and Nunes and whoever, anyone else coming up there, it should still be fairly potent. I still think that maybe in some ways they still need to work together to get that chemistry right. And it's still the first season since Sané's departure. So it will take a little bit of time. But we know that they can score goals, and goals will come from any which way. I mean, Firmino might be having a really good season in terms of scoring goals, and he seems to be back to something like his best. But it's in defense. Their defense was the bedrock of their success. And with Dick Van Dijk completely out of form, with TAA, also, suffering from concentration. Let's also not forget their first choice left back, Andrew Robertson, is now injured, which has also in some ways affected the Scotland team. So, who can they pick? And the idea of even trying to put Milner, what is so funny, son?
Big Van Dijk. Where did you come out with that one, man? That is.
Well, look, I mean, obviously the spelling.
Mary
is wrong, but
Poppins is a good film, though. Mary Poppins.
Yes, I mean, I can recite some of their songs, their songs by heart.
Oh,
But you know, it's like they've got to sort out their defense, and once they sort out their defense, they'll be fine. Because Alisson Becker is proving that clean sheets or no clean sheets, he is without doubt the best goalkeeper in the Premiership. I mean, I know you want to talk about the likes of Pickford and Ramsdale, but seriously, if it weren't for Alisson, Liverpool would have
Alisson over
lost.
Edison.
Yeah, Alisson over Edison any day of the week. And that's how Tite sees it, by the way. I mean, he ironically picked Edison for the Copa America final, and they lost to Emiliano Martinez's Argentina. So
Amazing.
That's the thing. But they need to sort out their defensive shape. They need to sort out their defensive problems. Van Dijk needs to be dropped. Simple as that. And once they can sort out their defense, everything will take care of itself. That's my opinion. And the reason why I say Van Dijk is I'm reminded of that ridiculous
Van
dance he was doing.
Disney.
Yeah. You need to see those dance moves. You'll know what I mean. But
Chimney
sure
sweeper
Hannah,
dance.
Can I what? What do you want me to do?
Can you give us an example, man?
Some other time. Not now. I've got another stream in about 15 minutes, so we should wrap up as soon as possible.
Yeah, let's wrap up soon. Let's talk about one more game. Let's just go through some of the games. Obviously, West Ham beat Wolves 2-1, 2-0. Everton beat Southampton 2-0, and obviously Leeds 0-0, and arrested the preview. So let's talk about the Fulham game, and then we'll wrap up because Manny has to go, and we'll do Where Can We Find You for Hanno as well. So who wants to start? Orest, do you want to start this? Fulham 1, Newcastle 4.
Yeah, I mean, disappointing loss for Fulham, but a good win for Newcastle in general. It's a very good win. But Fulham were down to 10 men anyway, so there you go. Oh shit. Middlesbrough sacked Chris Wilder after registering just 2 wins this season.
Old news. I saw that.
Yeah, old news. That's
old news. But anyways, I just seen it now from Kenny Ken Instagram story. If you guys know him, then you know. Big up Kenny Ken as always. But for me, Newcastle, I think they're gonna do a weird. I think they're doing well. I think they're gonna do something well this season. Not in trophy wise, but I think Premier League table wise. I think Premier League table wise.
Maybe Europe.
I think top 8 for me, top 8, top 7. I think they can get that. Well, if they get top 6, they'll be ahead of you anyways. But yeah, as I said, let's go. But yeah.
Oh yeah. What stream are you going on, Manny? By the way, the half past.
Yeah, it's a stream hosted by Tony Claude Gunner. I was on a stream with him over the weekend, and he's got another one coming up right now. So
I'll go tune into that one then. Let me just find.
Yeah, sure, that'd be wonderful. That'd be wonderful. And
what's it about, Manny?
Just maybe a preview of this coming weekend's games and what we can expect going forward. So yeah, it should be fun.
I know there's no
Manny, do you want to talk about this game, and then I think we'll wrap it up.
Okay, we also need to mention that the Wolves manager Bruno Lage got sacked after that 2-0 defeat to West Ham. It had to happen because I was predicting that Wolves would at least nick a draw in this game, but sadly it didn't work out that way. And
Bruno Mars, come on.
I know Bruno Mars.
Oh, come on.
Honestly, it was a bit of a weird sacking.
You guys think they should get Nuno back?
Nuno back.
Manny, what
no. Because I'll tell you why. Because when he was at Tottenham, Nuno knew not what he was
different.
doing.
He was good at Wolves. You can't like he was good at Wolves.
No. I don't think he'll really do very much. So Wolves. I think they had their chances. Diego Costa came in. And he tried his best, but in the end, Wolves were just disappointing. And I think the Hammers pretty much were able to slaughter those Wolves. And that Newcastle-Fulham game was a freak result. I was predicting a Fulham win.
Oh, you like that, Manny?
Because just a little bit of a cough. I don't know why it's been happening. Right. But so I was predicting a Fulham win because Fulham were looking very impressive in their most recent games. Newcastle couldn't even buy a win with all the money they had from their Saudi owners. And so I think it's fair to say that the Fulham sending off, that also changed the game.
Yeah.
Newcastle were able to get into their stride, and it was a complete freak result. But, Fulham shouldn't worry too much. I think they'll recover and be fine. For Newcastle, I think you could tell they needed that win. You could tell they needed it, and I'm glad it came for them under circumstances. And listen, I've just opened the StreamYard link for that stream, so I can stay for 5 minutes.
I've got one more. Let's all do a prediction for tonight's game, Leicester, Nottingham Forest. So I'm going to go 2-1 Forest. I'm going to go a delusional one out there.
So you think Rodgers will get sacked, Ollie?
Yep, Manny, what's your prediction for Leicester, Nottingham Forest tonight?
Oh, I actually predict that Leicester will win because Forest also look completely out of sorts defensively. I'm going for a 3-2 win because apparently it's a scoreline which doesn't favour Forest very well.
No.
Look, Leicester also have a very shambolic defence, but so do Forest. And I think if they can just motivate themselves for this local derby.
Just my name with the F.
What did you say?
Just my name, but put the F in front. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they can motivate themselves, they'll score some goals. So 3-2.
Hanno, what's your prediction?
Ollie, I agree with you. 2-1 Forest.
Yes, come on, Forest. Come on, Forest. And Orest, what's your prediction?
Ollie,
I have no Forest.
I actually disagree with you. I think 1-0 Leicester.
1-0 Leicester. All right.
I know Ward is a shit goalkeeper, but I don't know, man, because I did a preview with Leicester.
All right.
Well, listen, if Daniel Ward is useless, so is Dean Henderson, don't forget.
Manny, let's do where can we find you, and obviously big up the stream you're going on right now.
Yeah, I will. So you can catch me, of course, on Twitter at Thangatharai1981. That's my surname and my year of birth. You can find me there having a few spirited debates with a few Arteta-in people, if you will. I also talk about politics and a lot of other things. You can also catch me on Instagram at MannyThangatharai1981 for a closer connection. You can catch me on a few channels on YouTube, like, of course, Delboy Gunner TV. I bigged him up earlier. S. Featley TV, obviously, Oris Talks Football, King's Football Show, Coach's Corner with our very own Hanno Trollope. Really enjoyable stuff. Also, the football podcast with NS Sports TV. And this stream I'm going on will be for Tony Claude Gunner's YouTube channel. So if you can
go check that out.
Watch that, please, by all means do so. And, that's pretty much it with me. I just do whatever I want to do, say what I want to say, let the chips fall where they may. I'm happy to go wherever I feel wanted. So thanks a lot, Ollie, for having me on.
And Hanno, finally, obviously, Orest, you did. Where can we find you? Where can we find you on YouTube and Instagram? Anywhere else?
Potter in.
YouTube Coach's Corner, Twitter _Coach Corner, Instagram Hanno _Coach _Corner. Come on, Chelsea, beat Milan. Come on, Forest.
And obviously, follow Orest on Instagram. Orest Talks Football. And check out his stream. And then
Hey, whoa.
What?
You know what I mean?
Right.
Go on.
Go on it. All right.
Let the people see my.
All right.
I will do it again if you guys.
Do it again.
Oris Talks Football on YouTube live today, 9 p.m.
Yeah, check it out.
To be a massive one because we're
gonna smoke those Spurs fans.
Oh yes.
And you and I are fans.
No, you're not. No one's smoking me. And Instagram Oris Talks Football as well, where you can find me crying in the mud. How shit though. Twitter, we will create a Twitter account soon. I need to talk to Hardy about that. AKA Ronaldo lover. Big up Ollie for having me on.
Yeah, big up.
Chelsea are shit. Man United. Yeah.
And then finally, obviously, you can find me DJ SINCLAIRO. Always at the 516 on TikTok. Aaron _Ramsdale fan page 1 and Ollie.Sinclair556. That's pretty much it for me. Let's big up everyone. Big up Manny for joining. Big up as always. Big up Hanno for joining Coach Corner. Big up Orest Talks Football. And big up Joel. I just want to big up some people who couldn't join here. Big up MK the Don. He was supposed to be on tonight. He will be on tonight, yeah. And then big up DJ Crate who couldn't join today. He's busy with uni and stuff. And then David, I wanted to get him on the show, but hopefully next show I'm going to do it like I was in a bit of rush there. I had a college trip, so I was in a bit of rush to get home. But no, I'll try and next stream. I'm going to make it a good time so more people can join, and I'll make it a good day. But this has been a great stream. Big up everyone, and yeah, make sure in about 6 minutes now I'll check Manny's stream, Tony, Claude, and then obviously Arrest, and Gunner TV, and check out Arrest
And
at
check
8
out my
p.m.
stream tonight.
I'll be there.
Wherever.
Yeah. All right.
Actually, apart from Mano, because he always hides. So make sure.
We'll see you guys soon.
Big up.
Bye.
Arsenal shit. We've got Mick Arteta.
We're top of the league.
I'm glad you came.